want it to work right now. Security group is going to be called the Web ALB Security Group. Meaningful description, yet again. I'll add 2 rules. First rule is going to be HTTP from the world and HTTPS from the world. Great. Now, let's look at my diagram. The load balancer talks to the web server. The web servers currently has these roles. The world can talk to it. This one. The world can talk to it over port 80. That's not what I want. The load balancer is the only thing that can talk to my servers. Let's go change that. And I call that the Web ALB Security Group. So now, only the load balancer is able to go and talk to it. And just to show you, if I go back to this page and I try to refresh it, go back to AWS, it's spinning. I can't go back to that EC2 instance anymore. I changed the security group. So I can't. I'm going to need to go through a load balancer to go about doing that now. So security group is created. Next is the load balancer. It's created. This page goes. Create the load balancer. It's going to be HTTP, HTTPS, and I need those high-level things, right? Redirection of traffic and all of that. So application load balancer it is. The name, ALB. Sure, it's good for me. Internet-facing protocols. I need 2. I need HTTP and HTTPS, these 2 ports. I only need IPv4. I'm going to leave the IPv6 people on their own today. Now, my load balancer. In most of AWS diagram you will ever see, you will find that the load balancer is right in the middle of AZs. Now, there's an AZ over there. I have no idea where we are. So there's an AZ over there and an AZ over here. In the middle, what do you think there is?
Letter AZ.
Land. The load balancer does not live on land. It lives in data centers. So where's the load balancer? In the AZs. So we need to tell the load balancer, please run in the AZs. In which subnet do we want that load balancer to be in? Does it need public access? Does the web talk to the load balancer? Then I'm going to need it in the 2 public subnets. Public subnet 1 and public subnet 2. So public subnet 1 and public subnet 2. Next step, security settings. Because I chose HTTPS, I need to use that. So I am going to use a certificate from ACM. It's my wildcard star.johndion.com that I'm currently using. Why? Where is that cert coming from? It's using the AWS Certificate Manager. The AWS Certificate Manager is a free service for public certificate that allows you to have free certs. But those certs shall only be placed on your load balancer, API gateway, Redshift, CloudFront. 4 places, and that's it. I've already pre-provisioned it. Why? Because I will need to validate that I actually have access to that zone via email, and I didn't want to go do that. But I've already pre-provisioned this cert. The next step I need to do is select the security policy that goes with it. So what's the ciphers I want this load balancer to have? Next, security group. I want to select an existing. I'm going to use the Web ALB security group. Configure routing. Where do I send the traffic? Well, you're going to send it to a new traffic group that I'm going to call the Web Traffic Group. It's going to be going to instances. It can also talk to IP address. It can talk to IP address. And I'm VPN or use Direct Connect to AWS. Can the load balancer talk to on-prem? Yeah. That means I can load balance on-prem and AWS and auto-scale as my on-prem gets too busy. Yeah. That's the same idea, right? Hybrid. Still works, it's still there. She'll continue doing that. Protocol. What protocol do I talk to the backend? HTTP, port 80. Health check. I'm going to do what I said not to do and monitor the slash page. Okay. I don't have time to waste, so I'm going to move my healthy threshold to 2 and the interval to 10. Don't do that. quick. In these, I'm setting my healthy threshold a little bit too low. I really want to make sure that it's actually working before I say that it goes. But I know my server, and I've done that demo before, so I know these settings work. But normally you want to leave a little bit more time to figure out that it's actually unhealthy. It wasn't just a little spike that happened on your server before killing off that server. And the success code, I wanted 200 okay coming back from my web server telling me, yep, the page was able to. Next, register targets. I'm not registering targets. I don't need them. Auto scaling is going to add them. So, next step is I'm going to need to make sure that I have done this properly. Looks good. Create. The load balancer has now been created. Well, approach. Next step. I need to create the auto scaling group. But to create the auto scaling group, I need a launch configuration and an auto scaling group. If I try to go in the interface and I say, let me try to create a new auto scaling group, it will say, but come on, you don't have launch configs. Go create me a launch config and come back to me later. Okay, get started. Ships me to the launch configuration page. Here's the launch configuration. It says, hey, which AMI do you want to use? Well, I could go back and rebuild from the Linux to the Amazon Linux AMI and go and use my script again to rebuild this. And why would I want to do that? I have a golden template right there. Select it. Which size of EC2 instances do you want to use? That really sounds like I'm rebuilding an instance. Like, when I built an instance for the first time, if you remember, I chose the instance, then I chose the instance type, then I chose the network configuration I wanted for it, the security groups that needed to go with it, and all of these, the tags and the name that I wanted for it. This sounds like it's the same. Configuration details, add storage, configure security groups, and then the review at the end. Like, what's the difference between the two? Yeah, you're telling us what to launch. The what is the launch configuration here. So T2 micro is what I'm going to use. The name of this launch configuration, so web launch configuration. And then monitoring, I want it to be done every minute. So I'll enable CloudWatch detailed monitoring. Every time you see and you click the enable CloudWatch detailed monitoring, there's a sound that you'll make in your head. It does that sound. It's ka-ching. It just gave us more money. Or about to. So I'm enabling it because this, by default, the statistics from the EC2 instance are sent every 5 minutes. I don't have time to waste. I want them to be sent every minute. So every minute there's a charge for it. It's not that much, but it's pennies. And pennies at some point start to cost money. Storage, 8 gig, general purpose SSD, still fine with that. Security group. Select an existing, I'm going to use my web security group still. Right? But now it's fixed. Review. Hey, by the way, you're not opening up port 22. What are you doing? I don't care. If it doesn't work, I'm going to kill it off and bring another one. I don't treat my servers as pets. I don't pet, care about it. The pet, you want to make sure that it's alive. Give it water every day and food, apparently. But same with servers. You care about it, you SSH to it, you add the package, you update it, and then you really care for it. You really don't want its disk to get full. And then if you need to wake up in the middle of the night because it's crying, it's sending you pages, and then now you're going to go and care about it, you don't want that. You want to kill it off and bring another one, because there's plenty of them. Don't do that to your pet. So you don't treat your servers as pets. You treat them as whatever else you think you don't need to care. Flies, or cattles, not everyone likes that one, so anyway. Create the launch config. I acknowledge that I have access to that SSH key pair, even though I will never use it. And then it brings me into the auto scaling group. Auto scaling group, group name, I'm going to call it the web ASG. I want to start with 2 EC2 instances. I want to go into demo VPC, and then now where will my web server live? My web servers. Note that web server 1 is on the top right. It's currently in the public subnet. Well, web servers, they should be in the DMZ. Really? Do I need to have a public IP address to my web instance? I don't. The load balancer needs a public IP address because the internet is going to reach it. But then the load balancer will send the traffic down below. Hence why I'm going to move my web instances in the two private subnets. So, private subnet 1 and private subnet 2. Then, I'm going to say, receive traffic from one or more load balancer for this auto-scaling group. It's going to be my web traffic group. I will select the health check type to be ELB. The amount of health check grace period is going to be 60 seconds. I have time to waste. And then, ka-ching, again, heard it. Next, I want to use scaling policies. I'm going to go scale between 2 and 6 EC2 instances. And I'll say, use simple scaling policies. So increase the group size, add a new alarm. No need to send me notification. Whenever the average CPU utilization is greater than 65% for at least one consecutive period of 1 minute, I have a high CPU utilization. Create the alarm. So add 1 instance. And this instance needs 1 minute to boot. Decrease the group size, right? Up and down. Add a new alarm. Don't need to send me notification. Whenever the average CPU utilization is less than 20% for at least one consecutive period of 1 minute, low CPU utilization. Back down. And what do? Remove 1 instance. Well, where's the instant needs and amount to shut down? Here's how it works when you shut down a VM. You get the power. No need to wait. So that's why there's no amount of seconds that is happening in there. Next step, notifications. I don't want any of those. Tags. Name, web, server, fleet. Cost center. Those people. Review, and then I need to review this. Good. So, within the next minute, I will have new EC2 instances that will pop in. So if I move this down, I have currently 0 instances, a desired of 2, and a minimum of 2, and my maximum of 6. Why did it go to 2 as desired? Because we start with the minimum, and then we're going to grow this fleet. So if I refresh this page here, I'm going to see 2 EC2 instances, and I have 2 of them. And they're saying healthy, but they're pretty much starting right now. So after a few minutes, right, I said about 1 minute, then the health check has to go, it will now start arriving. There's one more step that I need to do, and that is fixing my load balancer. 2 things I didn't do inside my load balancer. Let's go and take a look. The first one, is on my listeners, for my HTTP traffic, it says forwarded to my web traffic group. I don't want that. HTTP traffic should, where are you? 80, get it? Forwarded, where's my T? Oh, there it is. That's the that I was looking for. So delete this thing. And I want to say redirect to for 443, same host, same path, same query, 301 is fine, so permanent redirect, and update it. Now, when someone sends an HTTP request, it will get a 301, a redirect, same host that arrived, port 443, same path, same query. So I've just built in the redirect inside of my load balancer. That's one thing that I have fixed. The next thing, which is not really a problem with the load balancer, but currently this is the DNS name of my load balancer. if I use that as, I don't have the Amazon AWS.com wildcard cert, I have the John Dion wildcard cert. So I need to go and add a new DNS entry pointing to this DNS name. So I'm going to go in Route 53 in another of my accounts. I've already logged in on Firefox and I'm using one of my other accounts where I have Route 53. I'm going to click on Route 53 in there. I'll have one zone, hosted zone, johndion.com. I'll create a new record set, and I'll say, what was it that I said? Web. I hope I didn't take that one yet. It's going to be an alias record because I'm pointing towards a load balancer. So an alias record allows me to create a top-level name pointing to a C name, which normally you can't do in DNS, but that's what the alias record does. It also replies directly with A records instead of having me reply with a C name and me having to redo another DNS lookup, so it makes it go faster. But it's for another day, alias record. I'll create this. So my record is now created. The next step that I want to do is go on my load balancer, go and check under my target group, and see if my EC2 instances are now showing as healthy. So those two, and they are. So again, let's see if the God demos or whatever they're called are working for me today. So web.johndion.com, that's HTTP. It's redirecting me to HTTPS, and I see my page. Okay, that's good. Is that actually working though? So that's 101, that's the instance, and then in 1A, let me refresh this page. It says 101, 102, 1A is still the same. Let me refresh again, and refresh again. We're going to go to the other side, maybe not. Normally it's round robin. But there it is. There we go. Apparently it was cached. So here's my two EC2 instances, 387 and then 102. I'm going to take a look if those are actually my real EC2 instances. So if I go back to my instances, I shall have three. Remember, I have the web server one, and then I have the other two. So web server fleet. I have 1 in 1A and 1 in 1B, 102 and 387. So those are my two EC2 instances that are there. Well, is that it? No, it's not it. I don't know if you saw that. There's a load test button. Every time I see a load test button, I don't want to click on it. I don't know how to stop yourself from clicking on it, but it's okay. So, what is now happening is I'm zipping and unzipping a file. There's only one vCPU, pegs the CPU utilization to 100%. This page refreshes every 5 seconds, which means that it will keep going in between the two servers all the time. So what will happen? I'll add another EC2 instance. When that EC2 instance is alive, what do you think will happen? This page is going to go on the next EC2 instance, which will bring it to 100% as well. It'll keep doing that. So now I'm going to go on with the theory and continue on to the other service, but I will come back to this a little bit later. And when I do, I'm going to have 6 EC2 instances in there. And if I don't forget, I don't know when we're going to go back to it. If we have time, I'm going to stop this page. Right? I just kill the page. And once I do that, after a few minutes, the zipping script stops. And then the EC2 utilization is going to start going back down. So we're going to go to 6. And we're going to start going all the way down to 2. So that's what I wanted to show you for those. Okay. That was servers. That was